welcome back to my channel again. So today is a pregnancy update. It has been 2 weeks since I last did my pregnancy update, so today I am 25 weeks and this is my 23 and 24 week pregnancy update, which sounds quite far along now, which is very, very exciting. So yeah, I didn't do an update last week because it's been a fairly chilled 2 weeks, which is nice. No huge dramas. The main thing is probably that in week 23 I started to feel really weird. I was feeling really dizzy, really lightheaded, and obviously I'm vegetarian and I hadn't had my bloods tested since I was like 8 weeks at my booking an appointment, so I started to panic that maybe I had anemia. Obviously being vegetarian, that wouldn't be unusual. So yeah, I booked in at the doctor's, got tested, and they came back fine actually. My iron levels were good, so I don't know what that was. I do still get like a bit dizzy now, but not as bad, so I'm wondering if maybe I had a bug, or I do wonder if maybe he was having a growth spurt and it just kind of took everything out of me because I was so tired as well. I was exhausted. I do still get the odd kind of bit of dizziness and tiredness at the moment, but it definitely seems to have improved a bit again. So yeah, I'm not anemic, which is always good. So there was that. What else has happened? Has been really relaxed. It was really exciting because on Monday me and Andrew decided to go for a last minute private scan. There wasn't really any reason for it. We weren't overly worried. I'd still been feeling his movements, so I wasn't particularly worried. I think it was just because I was literally having like weekly scans in the first trimester, to then go and have pretty much nothing. Like, I know I've still had scans, but I hadn't had one for like 4 weeks, and it just felt like a long time. I know to most people that probably doesn't, but when you're used to having kind of weekly or fortnightly scans, then going down to having nowhere near that is quite scary. So we just thought, you know what, let's just book a private scan, see him. My mum was going on holiday on the Tuesday as well, so it'd be nice for her to just check everything's okay so she could go off and enjoy her girly holiday without worrying about me or the baby. So we did that. I will show you some pictures. He looks like a proper little baby now, which is crazy. I've got quite a few photos, but this is probably my favourite one. You can really see his profile and like his little nose really clearly. Oh, I know I'm biased, but I do think he's really cute. This is him like having a little stretch, showing off his like neck and jaw area, which has a lot more definition than mine, let me tell you. So there's that one. There's another one just confirming he's a boy. And this one's really weird. He caught him mid-yawn, so he's got his mouth wide open, which looks absolutely bizarre. But yeah, he was just moving non-stop on the scan. And because I do have an anterior placenta, I know they tend to say you feel less movements, and I do feel like I feel movements every day, don't get me wrong, but some days he is quieter than others and I don't feel as many. I think it's kind of dependent on which side he's on that day. So I do get myself a little bit panicked about it. But on the scan he was literally moving non-stop. Like, the guy was like, oh my god, would he calm down? I can't get any pictures because he was just moving so much. But it was quite comforting because the whole time he was moving, it was probably like a 15-20 minute scan, and he moved non-stop and I probably only felt about 3 movements. So that was really comforting. Obviously I'm not going to rely on that, because if I do experience reduced movements I will 100% go and get checked out, but it was comforting that even though I wasn't feeling everything, he was still moving. So that was really good. It was really nice for my mum to see him again. It was just really nice to go for a scan like purely for pleasure and enjoyment rather than there being any kind of real fear or worry. So it was a really, really good scan. And we actually had, doing the scan, we went to Baby Bond again and we had Paul. Do you know the infamous Paul that we named Baby Paul after? He did our scan. He's so thorough, he's really, really good, and he flicked it into 4D for us, so we saw his little face, and oh, I know I'm biased, but I think he's really cute, and he's got like little pouty lips, and he's really, really cute. He said that 4D scans do tend to be a bit better a bit later on, so we're going to book one in for like about 28 weeks I think, so we can have a proper 4D scan, as we didn't get any prints in 4D, but yeah, it was just so nice to see him. As the scan was in Mothercare, we couldn't resist having a little look around after, and because I was past 24 weeks by then, I'd told myself, get past 24 weeks, I can start buying big things. And I've got a list on my phone of kind of everything I want, and I've just said to myself, as and when things go on offer, as inevitably they always do, we will just buy things. So I'll show you a couple of the bits I got. I bought a breast pump. Don't know if this one's any good. I know people seem to kind of react differently to breast pumps, and it's all to do with like the shape and blah blah blah. But this one was reduced half price, £53, and it's just the Tommy Tippy Closer to Nature single electric breast pump. So yeah, I do want to try and breastfeed, but whereas I'm really uptight in pregnancy, like I'm extremely anxious about pregnancy, I'm very like follow everything to the letter, get really panicked about things. When it comes to actual, like, after having the baby, I think I'm quite relaxed about things. I would love to breastfeed if I can breastfeed, but if I can't and I struggle, I'm not gonna put so much pressure on myself that I risk affecting the bond with my baby. Like, I think that is much more important. Fed is definitely best. So ideally I would like to breastfeed, but if not, I would like to try and express and kind of exclusively express if I can. But if I need to go onto formula, I'm totally fine with that too. I'll just do whatever kind of feels right at the time. I'm not very strict with myself when it comes to things following on from pregnancy. I'm just quite relaxed, and we'll just see what works best for me and what works best for the baby. So yeah, I bought that breast pump, and I also bought, this is quite big, I don't know how I'm going to be able to show you this, the Tommy Tippy Closer to Nature electric steam steriliser. This was reduced from £58.99 to £29.49, and it had really, really good reviews on the website. I think this one is exclusive to Mothercare, and it fits 6 bottles and sterilises in 5 minutes. So I thought that was a bit of a bargain. And yeah, obviously if I'm breastfeeding, I won't need to use this too much hopefully, but if I decide to express or formula feed, I think this is a really handy thing to have. And the other purchase we made, which you might know about if you follow me on Instagram, was we finally bought, which was very high on our list of things we wanted, the, how do you say it? I've always said snuzz pod, but I have heard people say snooze pod, and snooze pod makes more sense because it's like snoozing. So, snuzz pod, snooze pod. Anyway, we ordered one. I say we ordered one. My mum very kindly offered to buy that for us. She wanted to buy like a big thing for baby, and she offered to buy that for us. So we went for the Dove Grey. I'll insert a picture around here somewhere. And I've just heard amazing things about it. So yeah, we bought that, and we also previously bought the Sleepyhead, which you will have seen if you'd watched one of my hauls. So yeah, we're going to use the Sleepyhead and the snooze pod for the baby sleeping at night in our bedroom. So that's very exciting, and it actually arrived like 2 days after we'd ordered it. I wasn't expecting it to arrive that fast. What was a bit annoying though was that it arrived in this huge box, and the guy that was delivering it like knocked on the door and then just kind of left it outside the house. So I went to try and pick it up, but it was so heavy. And obviously when you're pregnant, you're not meant to pick anything up, but I'm not gonna lie, even if I wasn't pregnant, I would have really struggled to kind of carry that inside. So I had to go and ask him, do you mind just bringing this inside for me? Literally just put it inside the entrance hall, like you don't have to take it anywhere. And he did, but he like rolled his eyes at me like I'd asked the worst thing in the world. And it's like, it clearly says on the front that it's a cot. I think it's pretty plain to see now that I'm pregnant. Like, I don't really think there's two ways about it. It's quite clear I'm pregnant by now. And I don't know, I just thought that was a bit funny when someone's delivering from Mothercare. But we've got that now anyway, which is really exciting. We haven't set it up yet. I don't really want to set it up too early. So I think we will leave that till a lot later on, maybe like 35 weeks plus. Yeah, I don't feel ready to set that up yet, but it's very exciting to be here. And the other thing we've ordered, our other big purchase, this is just turning into a haul of things you can't see, but we've actually ordered our car seat because we found a really good deal where you got the Maxi Cozy Pebble, which is like 0 to 9 months, the Maxi Cozy Pearl, which like takes them up to 4 years, and the Isofix base for £350. So that was on our list of car seats we wanted, and again we saw a really good deal, and we're kind of just ordering things or buying things whenever we see that they're on offer. It makes sense if we're going to be getting them to get them when we see them on offer. It is scary making big purchases. It is, I'm not going to lie. I keep thinking, what if something goes wrong and I've got that in my house, but you've got to buy them, and it is exciting at the same time, and I'm enjoying it a lot more, and it makes everything seem more real. So it is scary, but it's exciting at the same time, and I'm just trying to embrace as much of it as I can. So yeah, that's really good. The other little purchase I've made, which I mentioned in my last pregnancy update, is I've bought one of the Kicks Count wristbands. This is for the Kicks Count charity. I think it was £3 maybe, and it essentially just has a little plastic dial that you twist around with numbers on it whenever you feel a bout of movement, so you can kind of get to learn the normal amount of movements in a day for your baby, and then if you notice reduced movements, you can go and get checked out straight away. I haven't opened this yet or started with this yet because I am only 25 weeks, and I think they recommend you start really counting movements from 28 weeks, so I might start this sooner. I would love to know your experiences with kick counting. It's something I'm very nervous about because I just don't want to miss anything or get anything wrong. So yeah, I would love to know kind of when you started counting kicks, or what your plan would be. But yeah, I'm glad I've got this now, and I can start counting kicks properly as soon as I feel like the time is right. I have my 25-week midwife appointment on Tuesday, so I'm going to take this with me, kind of ask her about it, get as much advice and information as possible, because I am quite nervous about the whole kick counting thing. I'm so scared I'll miss something, so that does fill me with a lot of dread. But yeah, I'm glad I've got this. I think it'll be a great help. I'll quickly run over some physical symptoms I've been experiencing. There hasn't been tons, obviously feeling movements, I've had the dizziness and kind of lightheadedness, which hasn't been very nice, but the only other thing I'll mention is just, and this is just a really like vain thing to be bothered by, but I've been getting these, I've had them since probably about 10 weeks, but I feel like they're getting worse. I've had these really dry patches around my mouth. I have always had oily skin. I've got PCOS, so I have kind of very oily, spot-prone skin. So dry skin is not something I'm really used to dealing with on my face. I get eczema on my body, but I have very oily skin on my face, so I'm not used to dealing with it on my face, and I've just been getting these dry patches all around my mouth, which they're not itchy, they're not sore, so I can't moan about them in that sense. They just make me feel very self-conscious, just about my skin in general. Like when I put makeup on them to try and, they're very like red and dry, so when I put makeup on the patches to try and reduce them, I just feel like my foundation and concealer just clings to it and kind of almost makes it more obvious in a way. So I'm feeling quite self-conscious about them, and I've kind of tried different moisturisers and just nothing seems to be helping them. They are completely, they are just a completely cosmetic thing and nothing like sore or uncomfortable, and you know, I would take being pregnant 1,000 times over, so I don't want people to think I'm like complaining about pregnancy, because I love being pregnant, but it's just makes you feel a bit self-conscious and crappy, having like really obvious like dry skin, especially when it's just like all around my mouth. I just feel like it's really obvious, so I'm not really enjoying that. That is probably the main thing that's been getting to me symptom wise the past few weeks. Just nothing seems to be making it better. So if you did experience any kind of like dry skin patches on your face in pregnancy, like please tell me if you found anything that helps. I'm allergic to lanolin that they put in a lot of moisturisers, and like they put it in nipple cream and stuff, so I need to find something really moisturising that will help, but that doesn't contain lanolin. So if you have any suggestions, please do let me know. And the only other physical symptom I can think of to mention is that I have started with the stretch marks. Now, I am not really bothered at all, to be honest. I have a lot of stretch marks anyway that have faded from when I was younger. I also got a lot of stretch marks when I came off the pill, and we discovered I had PCOS as I put on a lot of weight when I came off the pill. So I have a lot of stretch marks from then. Again, they've faded now. They just don't really bother me. I'm not the kind of person, as you will see, I always live in like baggy tents. I'm not the kind of person that like shows off my body. I'm not likely to be wearing a bikini anytime soon. So to be honest, I'm not really fussed and I'm not surprised. I'm very prone to stretch marks, and to be honest, I'm quite surprised it's taken me until like 24 weeks before I got a stretch mark. I'm pretty pleased with that. So I'm sure they're going to be coming thick and fast from now on. They're just on my hips at the moment, but yeah. I am moisturising on my stomach. I've got like a belly butter, but it was inevitable. I kind of think there's only so much you can do to prevent stretch marks. You're either prone to them or you're not, and I am, so be it. I just see it as a sign that baby is growing bigger and stronger, hopefully, and I will take some stretch marks. They don't bother me at all, and they will fade eventually. And that is probably it for this update, really. Not a lot else has been going on. It's just been quite a nice couple of weeks. I'm going shopping today with my friend who is also pregnant. She is 21 weeks, also having a boy. So we're going to go and have a look around some shops, which should be really nice. So you can maybe expect another haul. Somebody stab me. But yeah, that should be nice. I will leave you with the bump. Feeling very bumpy, feeling very obviously pregnant now. So I will leave you with the bump, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys. So let's ignore any streaky fake tan you might be able to see near my armpit. But this is the bump for 25 weeks pregnant. Feeling very solid and very round.